We make plans, we set goals. We try our best to control every detail of our lives. From the moment we wake up, we're immersed in a world that rewards order, certainty, and precision. We build schedules, track progress, map out futures, believing deep down that if we just try hard enough, we can make everything go the way we want. But life rarely works like that. No matter how tightly we grip the steering wheel, some things always fall outside our reach. A sudden illness, an unexpected loss, a plan that falls apart for reasons we never saw coming. And when those moments hit, we're left with a disquieting question. Were we ever truly in control? From a young age, we're conditioned to believe that control is strength. To master your emotions is seen as maturity. To command your future is celebrated as ambition. Even success is framed as a kind of conquest, of time, of chance, of other people. But beneath this cultural obsession with control lies a quieter, often ignored truth. The more we try to dominate reality, the more anxious and fragile we become. Because no matter how smart or careful or prepared we are, the world doesn't owe us certainty. And deep down, we know that. Philosophers throughout history have wrestled with this tension. The Stoics, for example, urged us to separate what is within our control from what is not. Our thoughts, our actions, our choices, that's our domain. Everything else? Chance, fortune, the will of the universe. To worry over what lies outside our influence, they believed, was not just foolish, but self-destructive. And yet, letting go is terrifying. Because when we surrender control, even partially, we feel exposed, vulnerable, small. We fear becoming passive or weak, as if loosening our grip means giving up altogether. But maybe that fear is misplaced. There's a deeper kind of strength in surrender. Not the kind that rolls over or gives in, but the kind that accepts reality as it is and chooses how to move within it. This isn't about apathy, it's about clarity. You can care deeply and still recognize what isn't yours to dictate. You can strive for excellence while understanding that outcomes are never guaranteed. In fact, it's often those who accept the limits of control who live with the greatest peace. Think about it. How much of our stress, our anxiety, our frustration comes from trying to force things to go a certain way? We agonize over what others think of us. We replay conversations, wishing we had said something different. We worry about the future as if our worrying itself might change it. But what if we replace that tension with trust? Not blind faith, but an open-handed willingness to live without needing guarantees. Buddhist philosophy speaks of attachment as the root of suffering, our craving for permanence in an impermanent world. We cling to how things should be, how people should behave, how life should unfold. And every time reality fails to meet those expectations, we suffer. Letting go, then, is not about giving up. It's about giving space. Space for life to breathe, for others to be who they are, and for ourselves to grow without the burden of perfection. None of this means we stop caring. Quite the opposite. When we release the need to control everything, we can finally begin to engage with life more fully, more honestly. We stop seeing people as projects to fix or outcomes to win, and instead begin to relate, to understand, to connect. We stop bracing against the future and start meeting each moment as it comes, with presence, with courage, with grace. Of course, surrender doesn't happen all at once. It's a practice, a choice we return to again and again, every time the old patterns return. When fear creeps in, when disappointment strikes, when we find ourselves grasping for certainty that simply isn't there. In those moments, we can pause and remind ourselves, it's okay not to know. It's okay to release the pressure. It's okay to live with questions, because in the absence of control, something else emerges. Freedom. Not the freedom to have everything your way, but the freedom to respond, to adapt, to grow. When we stop trying to bend life to our will, we begin to notice how much beauty already exists, even in the uncertain, even in the fragile. We stop seeing unpredictability as a threat and start seeing it as part of the dance, a rhythm we can move with instead of resisting. So maybe the goal isn't to control the storm, but to find stillness within it. Maybe peace isn't found in mastering everything around us, but in mastering how we meet it. Our thoughts, our intentions, our actions, those are ours. Everything else is weather. And in learning to let go, we may just find what we've been searching for all along, not safety, not certainty, but something deeper, a quiet strength, a grounded freedom, a kind of wisdom that doesn't need all the answers to feel at home in the world. Because maybe true power doesn't come from holding on, but from knowing when and how to let go. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to reflect and maybe share it with someone who needs it. If you're drawn to exploring more questions like this, more ideas that challenge and calm the mind, consider subscribing. New reflections every week. Until then, stay curious and stay grounded.